Hello, hello. Hi, Box Puppy. Um, I am participating in a raid train today and getting the ads to not I want to run my ads during my little starting soon, but so that I don't have pre rolls, which makes sense. But then the maximum amount of time Twitch lets me wait before it runs ads is 30 minutes. So I set that to 10 minutes, which is why we just ran ads to not have pre rolls, and apparently we're having ads again in 7 minutes. But that's gonna get ads to happen before the Crafty Cub Raid's in, I believe, because I think that's in 11 minutes. Sometimes Twitch makes things a little weird. What is going on with my sources? Why are my sources weird? Okay. We are calm. Can you see? I am totally calm. I am not calm. Anyway, last week I started this shawl. I am not a crocheter. This is my 6th ever crochet project and my first ever wearable or shawl or anything this big. No, it's not my first wearable. I did a granny square cardigan thing. But this is the virus shawl and it's been mostly working. Let's see if my pattern button works. Yes. It's been mostly working. You can sort of see that we're entering orange, but we have like a lot of orange, so I don't know when we're going to be done with it. And there's more inside the ball too. But this is Yartarn Flowers. And we're getting there. We're getting there. Like it's a process, but oh god, where's my pattern? Cannot not see my pattern. My pattern needs to exist. Pattern? Can we... Adobe, could you please show me this PDF without being dumb? Answer, probably not, actually. It's Adobe. Anyway. I'm like in this never-ending part where this all like is just repeated, four different sections repeated, but I do not have enough confidence in my crocheting to just kind of like be able to do it. I should check my sound levels too. Sorry guys, I know like normally I don't do this, but we're gonna be checking my sound levels so that I can see. Okay, I don't know. I think the sound levels are okay. You guys tell me, like, can you hear both me and the disco? Because there's disco happening in the background. At least in theory. There's at least theoretical disco happening in the background. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I'm a knitter. I'm a spinner. I'm a quilter. I am a weaver, but crochet has been an elusive art that other people do. And then I decided if I'm gonna actually be like a variety crafter and say that I'm a variety crafter, I should probably, you know, not suck at it. So that's where we're at. Like I said, this is my 6th ever crochet project. I've made that granny square cardigan. You don't hear the music. Okay. That doesn't mean there's anything wrong with your ears, because, like, it is playing, but... Okay, how about now? Do you now hear the music? It's supposed to be playing... It is telling me that it's playing. Let's see, I'm gonna crank it like a lot and see what happens. Assuming now you can hear the music, because it should be about as loud as I am. Okay, I'm gonna crank it down though, because it should be not as loud as I am. Okay. What about now? Okay. A bit too low now. Okay. How about now? I have raised it a little bit higher. Is this like balance between making it like audible off of my desktop audio and not really so loud that A, it's too loud for me in the room, But also my desktop mic is not picking it up. There is a good balance. Is this it though? Okay, yeah, that's true. It's background. It's like random disco music too, right? Like, okay. This is a chain 3 and turn setting here. God. So, also, I'm like forever grateful to Crafty Cub because he put me on these, I was trying to find a crochet hook set because I'm very particular. I need inline hooks. Yeah, I have an ad starting. It's gonna run a 3-minute ad like right now, and it would be super better if they came after that ran because I can't do anything about it anymore. But theoretically I got 5 minutes. I'm hoping they're not early. But yeah, I found these. They're from KnitPro. There is an actual set of actual inline hooks. Yes, thank you. Thank you for train conducting. Oh, okay, it's been telling me that ad is starting soon. Like, run it already. There we go. Okay. Oh. Alright. Double crochet 9 into the large chain gap. So it is running. It should be done in a minute, in 2.5 minutes. And then they can come in. I don't know entirely what to do with Granny Karen Cake Merino. Cakes Merino. But she is kind of hilarious. And again, I don't know what to do with her, but she's welcome to show up in my train station. But I wanted to do the most rainbowiest thing I could be doing for this raid train, so this is as rainbow as it gets. She is. Chris's sweater from Deltarune. Oh, I'm not sure I know what that looks like. 1, 2, 6. I've been watching Cub's stream for a while now, from I think the first Artists and Maker raid train, and I have never had the pleasure of encountering Granny before. I don't know how I managed to miss her, but I did. Why? Why are we already a giant tangle here? Darn. What are we doing? Yarn. Do not do this to me. It is doing this to me. Of course it's doing this to me. It's yarn. Oh my god, Automod. I understand, Automod, that you think there's something wrong with the word fingering, but we're gonna allow that. This is like, it's not even regular fingering. I think it's like fine fingering or something. It's a number 1 weight thread. And it is like multiply and it splits like there's no tomorrow. Also, hopefully Automod will not do that anymore because now it knows that that's an allowed term. Okay. Yeah, I think we give the ad break an actual like 30 seconds amount to finish, and then great. Boy. But yeah. Single crochet into the next chain. The last time we were on, I was trying to remember what a single crochet was, so, you know. Chain 4. Okay. 2, 3, 4. I love that Raid Pal is like announcing the thing for me, so that's kind of cool. Okay, I have 2 small chain gaps. Then I double 10 into the next gap. At least this is like an easy row for how many times I'm going to interrupt myself. Ay. It's gonna be an adventure because the only raid trains I've ever really done were the artist and maker ones where they're half an hour. These are 2-hour raid trains. Let's go. Afterwards, we're gonna go to Black Sheep Meets and Sheepy's eight, I think. 9 and 10. I think this is 10. I've got an extra one. Where did we? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10. Perfect. Oh god, I looked over into Cub's stream and the quantity of people he's bringing. Oy. Anyway, it'll be great. 2, 3, 4. Oh my god. Okay. There is a train. Oh my god. Hi everybody. Wait, I have to go and figure out how to click on buttons. I can do buttons. Where is? There we go. This button. And this button. Yay! I can do buttons. Welcome everybody. We are attempting to make the rainbowest thing I could manage to make, which is, you know, this amount of rainbowing. Yeah. Hello. Hello, Crafty Cub and Granny Karen Cakes Marino. I think I got the name right there. Granny was a delight. Very much a delight. And a little bit of a trip. Hope that you are you're all having fun on the train. Welcome to my stream. I am T'Pau of Vulcan. You can call me T'Pau. And here we do all sorts of things, mostly to do with crafts. Sometimes we game. Today we're definitely crafting. Thank you, all the followers. Thank you for following. I was hoping to pick something that would be very rainbow. Unfortunately, so far it's very red and a little bit orange. But, you know, maybe we'll make it as far as into yellow today. This is my 6th ever crochet project. I have never made a shawl, but this is the virus shawl. Here, let me press a button. And I found it by searching on Google for easy beginner-friendly shawls because, you know, why do small? Yeah, I wonder who told me about that yarn. Oh, wait. I think it was the Crafty Cub. Yeah, no, this is the Yarn Art Flowers. This one I got off of Amazon because I wanted specifically this color, but I did also do they're doing like a deal at Hirschner.com where you can kind of sight unseen order 2 of these cakes for a price of 1. It is fun, but let me tell you, it splits like a mofo. It is so splitty. To be fair, you might remember the saga of I wanted a set of inline crochet hooks. So the thing with inline crochet hooks is that they're also extra pointy. And this is the set I got. Again, somebody recommended it to me. Oh yeah, it was the Crafty Cub. He's an enabler, and here we are. And I'm using the smallest hook in the set, so this is a 3.5 size E. I'm slightly terrified that I'm gonna snap it while working with it because it is so tiny, but it is like, I don't know if you can see just how freaking pointy it is. Because again, it's an inline hook because I do not like the other kind. Don't like tapered hooks. But I also am not like actually a fan of the Susan Bates hooks. Like I don't like them. They feel like very cheap aluminum, so I prefer these. They're not very ergonomic either, but it's been pretty nice to work with actually so far. And again, inline hooks, because here's my crochet saga, right? I learned to crochet first when I was 3 years old from my grandma. This was back in what back then was, because I'm old, the USSR, the Soviet Union. So I learned like all the Russian ways of doing it, and I learned how to crochet. I learned how to make a chain and make a single, make a double. The singles, doubles, and triples are different over there, or at least they're not called, like, names are different. Anyway, then I learned to knit, and then I've been knitting since I was like 3. And I haven't really been crocheting. Like, my knowledge of crochet was like, I can do a crochet start for my knitting, or I can make a border or whatever. But I've been trying to pick it up. Like I said, this is my 6th project. I've made a cardigan and a cowl. I knit the Grain I Stitch cardigan and that cowl that, again, somebody recommended. I wonder who. Oh yeah, the Crafty Cub. And I've made like some amigurumi, but not a lot. And I'm in the middle of making the Sassy Bassy hat that Kelsbells put out that pattern. She looks like a giant fish on top of your head, so that's gonna be fun. But this is my first crocheted shawl, because normally I do a lot of like lace knitting. And I make a lot of shawls with knitting, with beads and all kinds of nonsense, but I wanted to do something fun and new, and that I was, you know, kind of like learning a new skill on stream in time for this train, and I wanted to do something real gay and rainbowy, and it's gonna be very rainbowy when it's done. Also, I gotta say, the hobby pattern, oh yeah, Sorry, go de-stream. I'm sorry, I forgot to say that. Thank you for the raid. Go de-stream. Go de-granify. Go be chill and take a break. Thank you for raiding in and bringing all the friends. But yeah, so this is gonna be cool. I hope. Anyway, hopefully folks will stick around. I hope everybody's enjoying the train. I've found some really cool new to me crafters on this train too, so it was very exciting. It's like every time I participate in a raid train, so far it's been mostly for the Artists and Makers Club. I just find more cool crafters to follow, and sometimes I walk away with a new hobby because like that's a thing that happens. It's true. Well, you gotta show her like, you gotta say goodbye and like wave and all that stuff, right? Like she gotta get out of your house, I'm sure. 1, 2, 3. Yes, the diamond painting came from the first Artist and Maker train. I think I managed to mostly survive the second Artist and Maker raid train without picking up a new expensive hobby. Jury is still out. We'll see with this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I gotta get back to my diamond painting, but it is completely packed away right now. So we'll see if I'll be able to dig it up. But I did put it on the list for the Monopoly. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Because the Monopoly has opened like other crafts, not just cross stitch board, I did put the diamond painting on there. Because I'm like only about a third done, and it's the DPAL, right? It's the diamond painting along for the year, so I gotta finish it before the year ends, so. But it is, I really like it. It's very chill, but it does take time and space on my desk, so. I did make rollers out of pool noodles for it though, so. Very, very exciting. But yeah, if folks don't know about the Twitch Artists and Makers Club, it's actually quite fun, and lots of people are there, and there's a lot of like idea sharing and hanging out. Pix and 9.5 are the founders for the club. I have link to it so that folks can check it out. But yeah, it's been pretty cool, so everybody should check it out. The other thing I tend to talk about on, at least on my raid things, is one of the things that I've participated in is something called Loose Ends Organization. Loose Ends Project is really cool in that it matches up folks who can do various crafts with folks who've had a project left when their loved one passed away. And then you can help them by finishing their thing. So I got to finish a sweater for a woman whose mom set it aside when she developed dementia, and when her mom passed away, she reached out to the Loose Ends Project, and they matched her with a knitter in her area. And so they take knitters, crocheters, or any other kind of craft, and you can do this cool thing and help somebody out. 6, 7, 8. Welcome, thank you for the follow. But yeah. Box Puppy, the Susan Bates tend to not come in ergonomic, but you can get like these little foam thingies that like kind of they're a little spirally and they go and they fit around the hook. And they fit around all but like the very smallest. I think F is the smallest that they work with. And you can put them on any hook that you have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 4. Counting is the bane of my existence, basically, and always has, and I think probably always will be. 1, 2, 3. But for folks who are regulars here, they know that we don't count so much here because when we try, we fail. Mostly because I get distracted, because like usually by the time I'm streaming, the Adderall's are worn off, and it's ADHD o'clock, which means that I have squirrel brain and nothing but squirrel brain. So counting to 10 is sometimes a little hard. Not like super hard, but a little hard. So I don't know what's going on. Like this braid's behaving and this braid is like, oh, I want to be over here. I want to reenact Pippi Longstocking, and I don't think we'd necessarily need to be reenacting Pippi Longstocking today, but you know. Also, I am not a redhead. My hair seems to not care. Yeah, it is, by the way, 1 billion degrees outside. I am in New England, where it's supposed to be cool, but it's not. We're having a heat wave like I think everybody else in the country. It is gonna be in the like hundreds here, and I am not okay with that. I'm the sort of person who thinks that if it's above 75, that is just too many degrees to be outside. So I have been hiding in my house full of air conditioning. Hi, Portia. Portia, I think. Please let me know if I'm completely destroying your name there. Which, like, I should know because I've heard people say it with their voices. And did it stick in my brain? No. 8, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm trying to keep an eye on the capitalism so that I am at least aware of when it's happening. Because we do run 3 minutes of capitalism. That's not, wait, why did I just double crochet there? That's not what we're supposed to do there. But you know, Twitch puts 3 minutes of capitalism every hour on my stream, so that I don't have pre-rolls. Because pre-rolls are terrible and I don't want to have them. So we deal with the capitalism. 2, 3. The one thing I will say about this yarn is I kind of wish that the transitions in color were a little quicker, because I am very sick of orange. But it's like it was just red, and then they introduced one strand of orange, and then two strands of orange, and two strands of red, and then three. So this is now three strands of orange, one strand of red. And I think that once we run out of that, we're gonna have I don't actually know if we have just straight up orange or if we're gonna have immediately three strands of orange, one strand of yellow. But there's just a very long color pool, which I guess is fine, right? Because they're gonna become narrower and narrower. Because right now it looks like we have two repeats of this one and only one repeat of this one. So we'll see how much of this one there is. But like I said, I am sick and tired of orange and I want to move on to the next color. Not that yellow is very different. I tend to like the cooler end of the rainbow, so I tend to prefer like the greens and the blues and the stuff. Hi, Catherine. Welcome. Thank you for riding in on the train. I'm just prattling on about which end of the rainbow I prefer in terms of colors. Because, like I said, it is ADHD o'clock. But yeah, let me see. What did I want to mention? I am a member of LGBTIA+ community. I consider myself bi and ace. So when I saw that this train was happening, I was very excited to try to join in, because everybody in the community needs all the support they can get these days. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Right? Yeah. Sometimes just kind of like look around the world, sigh, realize that everybody needs just a little bit extra support these days. Here we are. At least we get to craft together and cover everything with rainbows. And, I think everything will be a little bit better covered in rainbows. Just kind of on general principle, right? Like, just like I firmly believe that everything is better when purple, everything is better when rainbows. So, oh my god, yarn, do not split. Why are we splitting? It is a fairly small hook, so it is just extra easy for it to split. Purple is everything. Yeah, purple is everything. Like, you cannot tell because my hair is mostly teal, but it is, it's purple pretty immediately underneath the teal. Wearing the purple as well, which you can't see on that camera, but you can on this camera. Everything on the face camera is like getting terribly washed out by the light, but there's like not enough light on this if I don't use it. So 2, 3. So yes, everything in life that I can get away with ought to be purple, because it is the one true color. All other colors are fine too, but purple is the color. Yeah. Well, it's just also, like, again, it's the lights, and I've been packing away all of my stuff because I'm kind of getting ready to sell this house, so none of my setups are, like, optimal right now. I'm just grateful I actually still have a setup, because everything is mostly packed away. yeah, it's like all colors are great, but you know, some colors are just greater. And purple is some colors in this case. Okay, I just counted and I've already forgot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. One more. Good God. It's just like the squirrel brain is mighty today, and the squirrel has like 3 treadmills that it's supposed to be running on, and it is only the one poor squirrel, so. Sometimes I kind of try to take pity on the poor squirrel. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, there we go. Oh yes, we just got to what we lovingly refer to as the boobs part of the shawl. There we do. Twice the double. But yeah, so this is a very good beginner pattern. Oh yeah, I started saying this and then I kind of like got distracted. So if you get the pattern for this shawl from Hobby, so like that link, they do a really fascinating thing that I've literally never seen with a pattern. They don't just, they give you like all the steps and they give you pictures of each step. That's great. But then after they do all of that, they give you like an even more step-by-step thing with diagrams where they kind of go like, you know, and this needle is going to show you where you're supposed to stick your hook on this part of this step. And they take the regular like 12 steps that are in this pattern and break it down to like some like 60 something steps. There is a video as well, which to be fair, I have not looked at. But having those pictures was pretty amazing. And I see why they say it's beginner friendly, right? Because it really kind of is because of that. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. But yeah, it is incredibly, like I found that incredibly useful to be able to get those pictures, because sometimes they said things like, oh, skip 2, and I'm like, skip 2? Like, all of these things look like holes. Do I skip all of them? Because, again, like a person who crochets normally does not have that problem. I was showing it to my BFF, and she was like, oh, yeah, no, you skip 2. You skip this one and this one. I'm like, okay, well, there's no way I would have known that. 8. But so having those pictures where they literally just show you, like, you put your hook into this hole. Yeah, this is my 6th ever project, right? Like, I'm a knitter. I consider myself a fairly advanced knitter. I've been doing it for very many years, since I was 3, but never really like seriously done any crochet, so we are learning together on stream is what happens. Thank you for the lurk. Thank you for the follow as well. So we do some learning together crochet on the streams. We do a lot of knitting. We do a lot of spinning, and some blending. I periodically attempt to get the loom into a stream. It's very difficult because my setup is just not designed for the floor loom, but I've done the rigid heddle loom on stream. And recently we started crocheting on stream, not because I've recently started crocheting, but because I've recently determined that maybe it'll be interesting on stream. So we've been doing that because I've been doing the cross stitch Monopoly, which a lot of fun. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's kind of like gets me working on some of my old projects because they come up with the monopolies. So that's pretty cool. And then sometimes we also play games. It used to be a lot of Sims 4, but these days it's like we've got a couple of different runs in Stardew. Not Split Yarn. A couple of different runs in Stardew, run in Coral Island, we'll run in whatever, like various other things. We've been doing some blueprints as well. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Which blueprints is pretty damn awesome. But yeah, so we do some of that as well. Although much more of a craft stream these days. 2, 3, 4. One of the things that I have not yet done is I want to. I'm going to be doing a bunch of setup for some new bullet journals, and I'm kind of wondering whether it's going to be at all feasible to stream doing that setup, or if the camera is just gonna not cooperate. So I gotta play around with it. Thank you for the follow. We are past the halfway point of this row, and I was glad to find out, for some definition of glad, that in crochet, like in knitting, the more you work on your shawl, the bigger it gets, the longer each row is, and the longer it takes to do each repeat. Because I've gotten to like the point where it's like, okay, each row is like 500 stitches of knitting, so it's sort of like I can't just go like, oh, I'll just do one row, because one row is like 2.5 hours. So yeah, also this like came out as yarn barf, so which is why I'm fighting with it rather than pulling it out of the top. And yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4. Come on, why are we splitting? Not split. Thank you. Yeah. Let's see. Did I talk about everything I wanted to talk about? I think I did. I think I mostly wanted to mention loose ends and the Creative Club. But this train is it was not set up by me. It was set up by Binge Bear, who is somebody I should actually give a shout out to. Let's see if I can figure out if I can actually do an actual shout out. Nope. Can I? Ha! You said something, which means I can press the much easier button. Because you say something, I can press buttons. If you don't say something, I have to go and go like, do I use an @ sign with people's usernames or not? Because I never remember. I am such a pro streamer, let me tell you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. But yes, Binge Bear, who is lovely, is organizing this, and I think it's under the auspices of the Crafty Collective, which I'm not a part of, but which seems really awesome. What are you painting? Make 14 granny squares of green, 12 of black, and 4 regular squares of the same. I mean, yes, that is a lot of end weaving, but you knew what you were getting into. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah. And top splitting yarn. Inanimate object. Do what I say. It's not very good. Oh, diamond painting. Okay. Oh, nice. What are you folks painting? What sort of painting? 3, 4. I am participating in Captain Casa and Black Sheepy's Deepal for 2025. So I've got like this spooky picture of like a witch on a broom flying through the woods type picture, and I'm, like I said, I'm about maybe 1/3 of the way through on it. Nice. My very first diamond painting I did at the very end of last year. Oh my god, this is gonna be a terrible tangled mess. We're gonna try to detangle this while I talk. And it was like sort of a retro 70s looking Spock from Star Trek, because I'm me. And I finished it. It was like a 13 by 13, so it was pretty small. And I actually finished it. It was a DAC, a DAC kit, because somebody told me before I got into diamond painting that I should not even try competitors. I should just start with DAC. And I said, well, they are apparently the most expensive brand, so that's on par, I guess. But I've tried a small kit from somebody else, and like the quality cannot compare, right? But then my second ever one is this giant, like it's 27 by 27, I think. No, it's 27 in one direction and like 30 something in another. I can only do it sideways because it doesn't fit on my desk otherwise. And I, of course, now have a stash of like 20 diamond paintings waiting to be done because, did you know that buying supplies for a hobby is a different hobby than doing the hobby? And I participate in the supply buying hobby very well. They do. They have just great quality of everything. And I, because I like purchasing supplies, I also picked up, these places to store my drills that are like, they're like little rectangles, they're closed containers, but they've got the lines on the bottom, so I dump the drills in and I store them in that thing, and then I open it, shake it, and just work from there, which is a really, that's been real convenient. I think it's like, the brand is, I think, Forever Young. I got them on Amazon. They're like little rectangles. Because the thought of getting jars to store my drills, and then also having the trays and like pouring things back and forth, I'm just like, that is inviting disaster in my life. And like, I did the first one with the trays, and I had like 7 trays out everywhere, and I was just like, I don't know how people do it. I don't even have like pets. If I had pets, like, I think they would be covered in drills. So yeah. Trabrix. Okay. I don't think I've heard of those. Now I have to go Google, because of course I do. Hang on. Trabrix. Yes, those are very similar. Yeah, those are very, very similar. Let me see if I can get the Forever Young and like show a link. Because this is, sorry, you're gonna get a terribly ugly Amazon link. Oh wow, it reached the character limit. Cool. Could we Amazon, could we get a link that is not terrible? The answer is I think no. I think we can't get a link that doesn't suck. Why is this a problem? Oh my god. Apparently I can't computers today. Is that gonna work? Yes. Okay, I think that's a much better link. It's like, the link is so long, it's complaining about character limit. Yeah, I know, right? Like, that is the... Oh, nice. I like that these are transparent. They're not particularly anti-static, but I put like a little tiny bit of dryer sheet in them, and then it's reasonably fine. Okay, where did my thing go? And by thing, I mean pattern. Yeah, see, okay, Pinchbear, that's the thing. I do these trains, I watch these trains, and suddenly I develop new hobbies. This is how this works, right? Okay, 1, 2... Okay, doing doubles again. I wonder if I will actually manage to finish a repeat during my train stop, because repeat is 4 rows, row 8, 9, 10, and 11. This is row 9. 4. But they are taking a while. 5. So, I don't know why this is called the virus shawl. Does not look like a virus. 2, 3. I tend to think of viruses as having sort of like a hexagon or an octagon sort of head, and then like spider legs, basically. 4, but I wonder where that image came from. Like, that is just how my brain thinks viruses look like. I'm sure there's a reason this one is called the virus shawl. I just don't know what it is. I do know that Hobby is not the originator of the pattern, so I'm assuming they kind of bought the rights to it, because you can find this pattern on Ravelry. It's being sold for like money by somebody. It's basically the same pattern, very similar. So I'm kind of hoping Hobby just yoink it. I just came back from kind of like a crafty trip up to Vermont, or like right up on the Canadian border. My friends and I went up to just like stay in what amounts to a ski resort when it's not summer. 2, 3, 4, and I got like most of this done there. because we watched a lot of really terrible TV and did craft. That's all we did. Like we finished a season of Next Level Chef, and we caught up on the episodes of Yes Chef, and we watched the season finale of Top Chef. You're seeing a pattern here, I'm assuming. And just watched a lot of that and a lot of like random Bravo shows, which are full of very wealthy people doing terribly stupid things with their lives. I tend to watch those shows because, frankly, looking at all of those people making life choices makes me feel so much better about my own life choices. Because, like, I can always say, well, at least I wasn't that super rich person who decided to, like, steal things. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4. Mr. Frightful, that is a terrible term that I don't want to think about. 2, 3. He's just sounds bad already. If folks are enjoying the train keeps going. I think it's stopping overnight, and then it's gonna be more train tomorrow. Oh, thank you. Yeah, so this is it's gonna get into the rest of the rainbow. This is very Pride. We're just kind of a little bit stuck in orange. Hi, Sweet Wild Thing. I was lurking in your stream earlier. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I think I had to duck out just when you said you were going to go to Ginger Island. But I was very amused at you're like, oh my god, I forgot to think about that I need to name these animals when I buy them. Oopsie. I've done that like every time. Hi, Silly V. Welcome. We are having fun on the train. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I am crocheting my first ever crocheted shawl. I just counted and I again already forgot what I said. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Ay. Yes, thank you. Happy Pride. This is the Crafting Rainbows pretty awesome raid train. I make a button for it. Yes, Rainbow Express. It was like I made a button. I know I did. Oh, thank you. I got up this morning and I was like, I could attempt to do my hair, or I can do a thing which will keep my hair out of my face. And here we are. It's stayed out of my face since morning, and it's like almost 7 p.m. So good time. Yeah, naming things is terrible. Oh, thank you, Silly V. I sometimes end up with like chicken 1, chicken 2, chicken 3 in Stardew, and like I know that that's terrible, and I just have such a complete, okay, this is a single, you know how to do a single, me. Just have like such a terrible block on my brain to name them that I'm just like, you know what? Nope, they're going to be terribly named too. Right? I'm partial to like chicken 5, but yes. Usually by the time I get 5th chicken, I have access to blue chickens. And that's how we go. 1, 2, 4. Because as we all know, well, all of us who play Stardew, that this is why you gotta befriend Shane. You gotta get those blue chickens. Thank you for the follow. I did do one run where I, in fact, married Shane. And, you know, like, I like his story. It's sappy and slightly tragic, and he gets better. He's just such an asshole so early on that I had avoided him. And then I learned about the blue chickens, and then I was like, oh, well, obviously the only way to do this is to marry him. So I got to kind of see his story, and his story is interesting. But I tend to end up so it like does the exact correct thing for my ADHD for some reason. But I mod it. I heavily mod my my Stardew, and you can see my mods there because I am apparently prepared. Most of the like actual links in that are old because I gotta update the collection, but you can see them. But I use, for example, a thing that puts a list that I can list what I'm doing next, because otherwise I just flitter off. So like I have a list that's called to do, DW, so that like I can say, okay, we're buying a chicken coop. We are, we need to buy 3 cows or whatever. And that way when I go like, what am I supposed to be doing? I remember because I have a list in front of my face on the screen. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Also, I refuse to play Stardew where I have to do fishing without the fishing mod, because fishing in Stardew is basically the devil. So I use the mod where I just win the fishing minigame. Yes, somebody in one of the Facebook groups I'm in did it, and it's pretty cool. Like it's just cosmetics, right, and a couple of recipes, but it's pretty cool. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And I did turn my Pelican town into kind of like a medieval looking town, which I like a lot better than what it actually looks. And we are going to get capitalism in about a minute and a half. And what I'm gonna do, what I normally do for capitalism, is I will put us into really quick BRB mode and take the opportunity to, spend the 3 minutes getting up and getting a drink and using the restroom, whatever sort of thing, right? 1, 2, 3. Do not split yarn. So I recommend everybody also take that opportunity to use the restroom and get a drink and do some self-care. And then after 3 minutes, we will be back and, done with capitalism for an hour. So, very, very soon. Three. God, come on, stitches. 4. 5. 6. 7. Ah, yep. All right. Time to have some capitalism. Everybody take care of themselves, and we'll be back in about 3 minutes. I think we're back from capitalism. I never know when capitalism is gonna actually be done. It's capitalism, it's never ending. Obviously, we knew that. Um, but here we are anyway, and I managed to put my pattern somewhere. There we go. Okay, so that was repeat. That was for row 9. So now we're gonna do row 10, which I think just like double crochets into all of these other double crochets, right? Chain 3 and turn. 1, 2, 3. Up. Flip everything and turn. Okay. That counts as 1 double crochet. Double crochet in each of the stitches of the large chain gap. Double crochet into all of these guys. And then we will single crochet into this. Oh yeah, and we just do 1 chain. Okay. That's fine. That is fine. It's fine. Okay. So double crocheting into all of these guys. My BFF, RGB, who is primarily a crocheter, tells me that I hold my crochet hook weird and do my crochet stitches weird. I assume that is because I learned them from my grandma, who does not know the American variant of doing any of these things. And therefore, mostly neither do I. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, I was like, it was life-changing to learn that, you know, the thing that is called like double crochet in the US is called 1.5 crochet in Russia, and what they call double there is like a 1.5 or something, or like a triple. I don't know. Okay, so we single crochet into here, and 1, 2, 3, 4. Single crochet into here, and I think we just go and do, yeah, let me just do the next one, starting with the first double crochet. That's I think what it's supposed to do. Also, what is bone telling you? Oh my god. My stitches, like, some of them are very loose and some of them are very tight. I'm hoping this comes out when I block it, because otherwise it'll just be weirdly uneven. But we're almost at the end of the yarn barf, which hopefully means we're almost at the end of this color. These yarns have, so the gradient has basically 14 pretty discrete chunks. So it's not like a continuous gradient, because they achieve it by, like I was saying before, they change how many strands are a specific color. So like here we are at 1 strand red and 3 strands orange at this point. but the only kind of clear colors are on the ends. So the purple is a true purple and the red is a true red. And everything else is sort of like the fake gradient in the middle. So there is, you know, the 3 strands of red, 1 strand of orange, and, you know, 2 strands of red, 2 strands of orange, and, you know, 3 strands of orange, 1 strand of red, which is what we have now. So, like, that's all different sections. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I'm hoping that this section will end and whatever the next section is happens, but I don't actually know what the next section is because I don't know if we get a section that is all orange, because I think we don't, because I think that's only for the ends. I think we just get the next section is going to be like 3 strands of orange, 1 strand of yellow, maybe? I don't actually know, but I would like to find out. To be able to find out, we need to change colors. So, soon. Again, I was hopeful that I would get enough of this done that it would look a little bit more like an actual rainbow on the shawl instead of just being kind of like red and orange. But it is what it is. So we just get to enjoy the gradient effect. Refuse to actually call this a gradient because I feel like gradients have to be really, like, they have to be continuous to be a real quote-unquote gradient, but definitely the gradient effect is definitely happening because, like, you can see the transition through the various shades of kind of orange into a much more yellowy orange, which is where we are right now. Yes, one can see. I don't know if you can because my screen is, you know, being whatever it is being, but that was an abrupt end to the music, but whatever. It's like Eclipse disco phase or whatever it is, so. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. One of the things that we do here on the stream is we do the Barocco 2025 blanket knit along, which for anybody who is a new knitter is actually really handy because each month you get kind of like 1 or 2 patterns for these 12 by 12 squares, and like they're all new and fun techniques, right? There's different cables, there is a couple of different laces, so it's pretty neat. So it is. I have a link to the. It's like the pattern's free. And it is pretty nifty. So we often are knitting the squares on stream as well. Right now I'm kind of in the middle of the first of 2 squares for June. I was a little late starting them. And the first one is a fancy cable, but the second one is a mosaic pattern, which I know that mosaic crochet has been kind of all the rage recently, but really heard about mosaic knitting, but it does in fact apparently exist. And you do it about the same way. So basically each row of the pattern is actually 2 rows, one in each color. But which makes me also think of both double knitting and brioche, which I've done, but I absolutely detest because I have enough ADHD that I get like this super distracted, and then I have no idea what I'm doing or where I am, why am I in this hand basket, that sort of thing. So brioche is sort of not the knitting style for me, despite it looking pretty cool when done. It's actually 10 stitches. 10, yes. Like I know that there are 10 stitches because we counted when doing the previous row, but counting on this row means that we are double checking and are much more likely to find errors that way, if they exist. So that's kind of why I count and double check, because that's basically the quality control on the counts, right? What's everybody up to? I know Box Puppy is doing granny squares for the hoodie. It sounded like Bench Bear and Catherine were diamond painting. Catherine is also part of the raid train, I think. I think I saw you scheduled for tomorrow at what is going to be 6 a.m. my time, so they make 0 promises about being awake. 6 a.m. I might be still awake as opposed to again awake. That's much more likely for me. Fixing bad code. What kind of code? What language? What kind of project? I hope it's not for like work, because it's, Saturday afternoon. I hope it's for like fun projects. Oh, that reminds me I have to do a bunch of usability testing. Thank you for the follow. Yeah, well, I'm familiar with sort of some different streamer bots. I have never looked at their code, but I'm familiar with them existing. This one. 5, 6, 8, 9. A single. What is the code doing that is making it bad code? Toolname StreamerBot. Okay, allows you to plug in C# stuff to do various stream stuff. Oh, okay. I am not familiar with that. I have mostly stayed away from doing any code for my streaming because ooh, got it. Yeah, I'm old enough that the coding I've done was in Java Swing specifically. So I don't know C# very well because I transitioned out of writing code to doing UI design and doing UX research many years ago at this point. So at this point I'm just like not up on the modern programming languages. Oh, nice. Yeah, I learned Java back when it was like very new. We made fun of hiring companies who said things like, "You should have 5 years of Java experience," and we were like, "Oh, honey, but Java has not existed for 5 years yet." But yeah, no, I wrote front end code in Java Swing because that's what we did. I'm not familiar with Kotlin. Is that primarily a mobile interface language? I am one of the things I do with my spare time, haha, is I'm part of a nonprofit that we've written and we maintain a piece of software that allows convention runners to do program planning for the convention. So I've been doing mostly the design and the usability, and as well as some project management for it. There's three of us. There's a back-end developer and a front-end developer also. And I believe we are our back-end stuff is in Ruby on Rails, and our front-end stuff is in Bootstrap Vue kind of stuff. Yeah. Yeah, well, that's because HR doesn't know what they are actually talking about. 1, 2, 3, 7, 8. Oh, yarn over. Kotlin is language made by the ID developers. You can write most platforms with it. Really difficult. Okay, got it. Sounds neat. Do not know anything about it. Among other things, because I am an iPhone user. It's funny. I'm super loyal to my iPhones forever, but also I dislike Macs and only have Windows computers. So it's like I like Apple's peripherals, but not their main computers. And I like, well, saying I like Microsoft's computers is perhaps a little bit too strong of a term. But I am used to them, and therefore I stick with them. Fox Puppy, those were all nouns, and I have no idea what any of them are. Yeah, prefer, there we go. Choose to stick with as the lesser of the evils. 1, 2, 3, 5. I think my next big, actual coding, well, I don't know if it's actually coding, I think it's maybe more scripting, thing is I really need to go back to learning Ren'Py. Because I am determined to make a visual novel, and Ren'Py is the way to go with that. And I do not have the foundation of Python to rely on, but I don't mind Linux, but I am very much a UI kind of gal, and yes, there are now real actual GUIs for Linux. It's not the bad old days, but not everything I want is supported on it, Yeah. Well, everybody's always vibe coded, technically speaking. 1, 2, 3. Right? Because when you're hiring, you're not hiring somebody because they know the language. You're hiring them because they're a good coder, because a good coder will learn any language. So, by that metric, everybody vibe codes. Oh, that's not a simple question, Binge Bear. Oh, well, AI writes real crap codes, so like F that. Binge Bear, that's a hard question. I am and forever will be an original Star Trek person because I am all about Spock. It's not that I like Kirk as a captain, he's kind of a crap captain. But has Spock. Picard's okay, Riker's a hoe. Next Gen was okay, but like it wasn't my Star Trek. Not because I'm actually old enough for classic Trek. I did see it all in reruns, but it was the first Star Trek I found, so I kind of got attached to it. Hi, Rachel, how are you? Look, I'm trying to make a very, very, very gay shawl. I'm learning to crochet. But somebody asked me about Star Trek captains, and here we are. Oh my god. Automod. Like, I understand why it think that, but earlier we were talking about yarn, and somebody said fingering weight yarn, and Automod is like, you can't say that. So we had to allow the term fingering. Anyway, I do like Cisco, but I didn't like DS9 that much. We will not talk about whatever the heck that was with Scott Bakula. The current one I've been watching with my friend, the one that like just started the next season, Strange New Worlds, Brave New Worlds, Strange New Worlds, whatever it's called. I'm back. I'm bad with names. I really like that one because I really like that version of Pike, and I really like that version of Spock. It blocks Cowgirl, really? Wow. Again, I understand, like, why some of these words, but also this makes me think of the time our friend, whose Twitch name is Thick Like Cheesecake, realized that she has to have a Sims 4 gallery account be thick like cheese because cheesecake is not an allowed term. I probably allowed it at some point. Thank you for the follow. But yeah, you know, the Sims gallery does not allow the word cheesecake. So yeah, sometimes terms are like, I feel like, yes, we know, Rachel. You and cheesecake do not get along. I understand. But a good Nutella cheesecake is the best. But sometimes I feel like Automod basically like somebody just went and Googled like list of bad words, but not too bad. And that's what it uses. Yeah. You know, there's enough people who like it that I try to not block other people's fun. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. But you know, it also blocks fingering weight yarn, and we can't have that because that's too useful. 3, 4. I also don't understand what the hype is because most cheesecake I'm not like into. It blocks put? Weird. That is weird. Yeah, I mean, like, I'm not the biggest fan of cheesecake. I tend to not like it or order it very much. But a long time ago, I got this little cookbook. It's called Mother Wonderful's Little Cheesecake Cookbook, and it's just cheesecake recipes. And the only one I've ever made out of it is a Nutella cheesecake, which does involve 2 full jars of Nutella. it is so rich that I can only eat it in like tiny slivers of a slice, and it is good because it's full of Nutella. I think sort of despite being a cheesecake, I will take a key lime pie over a cheesecake basically any day. But also, I'm the person who will like ask the restaurant, "Oh, do you have a cheese plate for dessert instead of cake? Because I'd rather have a cheese plate any day." So, I think it is part of a bad word in Spanish. Bad word in Spanish. And I think I would assume that the problem with put is that they don't want you to talk about anyone or anything being put out. I guess. I don't actually know. I think it's kind of silly. I love a good cheese plate. I mostly can't do a sliced meat plate because most of the charcuterie meats are pork, which I do not eat. But like any place that had a good braciole, just basically beef prosciutto, like will have my loyalty forever and ever and ever until the end of time. Now I think it's an acronym. What is it an acronym for? So like, I'm not very observant, but that's like the one thing that I do. Like, don't get me wrong, I will like put shrimp on my cheeseburger and all, but not bacon. Welcome back, Crafty Cub. We have been talking about things that Automod does and does not disallow. So, I don't even remember what started it. What was the word that, like, it barfed on? I know, I have to, like, scroll back now so I can figure out what it tried to block. Can't even find it anymore. Yeah, so that is what the Spanish word is, and I'm not going to allow that one, Box Puppy. But yes. Term for what would now be called lewds. Yes, lewds and nudes and whatever. I understand, but like, you know, that's like not these days a word that somebody uses for naughty purposes as a name of their Sims 4 gallery. Like, it's just kind of not. But yeah, I just don't remember what it was that Automod automodded. Oh, yeah, gay. It decided that gay is not an allowed term, and earlier it had decided that fingering, when talking about yarn, is a not allowed term. So we fixed that problem. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 9. And, like, I understand why it blocks gay, but, like, it's also not a bad word, Automod. Especially when I'm talking about the coloringness of this yarn. But also, like, any other context we are using it. But it is doing its bestest to protect us, and we pat it on its head. So I hope so, right? This is the yarn. It does go through orange, yellow, some shades of green, blue, and purple. So it's like it doesn't have like a dark purple in it or anything, but I can and I have. Yeah, no, absolutely. Like Celia, I absolutely get it. And I appreciate that it allows me to be able to say, like, no, people can totally use that word in my stream, and if they use it badly, I will kick them. But like, I've also seen on other streamers' modes where we're like talking about gardening, and somebody in fact mentions hose in the context of gardening. Yeah, so that's part of it, right? Like, and that is exactly what I just did with your statement, where now you can talk about, you know, tilling soil with hose just fine because it has now been whitelisted. And my at least theory is that, like, and if people are not responsible with their word choices, they will go away. But you know, in the meanwhile, Automod tries its hardest. It's on like sort of a medium-ish setting, and you know, we do okay. And Siribot also catches things often that Automod doesn't, because it is looking for a different kind of caliber of words in its moderating abilities. But yeah. What time is it? Oh my god, it's 7:30. Okay, good. I'm like keeping an eye on things. I want to make sure that we don't accidentally end up in like the middle of capitalism right as it's time to go visit Black Sheep Meat. I think we're okay. I think when we get to the time for capitalism. I haven't encountered that, which is not an invitation to show me. Yeah, that's probably not a bad idea. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I am not sure I can pull up all those symbols off the top of my head to ban them, but I probably could. Like, I'm the person who doesn't necessarily easily know how to make my keyboard do those symbols. So hopefully I can just find somewhere to copy and paste. Oh, okay. That's probably a better way to do that. And I know that some people like ban foreign languages, which I am mostly not willing to do, but I do kind of ask people to stick to English so I understand, or at least to a language I know. It does not have to be English. Kaloran. Oh, I think I saw it when it caught the raid messages once. Yes, that is also what I do with that. You know, my stream elements is like doing something, and I so rarely look at it, so I never remember what it is that it's doing. I should probably go and see what settings I have in it. I do have like the Stream Element bod modded and stuff. It does some various things. I wonder if there's a plugin for Twitch chat that does like the Google Auto Translate, the way you can click on a button in Facebook and it, you know, translates the post for you. I wonder if somebody has written a thing where you can actually just click in the chat and get a translation. Because that would be handy and I wouldn't have to go find a browser window. 1, 2, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So chances that we're actually going to finish this repeat are pretty low. Because this is row 10, so we're on the second half of it. But I don't know if we're going to be able to get to row 11. Through row 11. Yeah, that's like just mean. Like, it's not even like a slur, it's just kind of a mean thing to say. What are people doing in OBS for translation? I do not have any OBS plugins or like third-party add-ons to it because I am so worried. Yeah, you are letting that comment live rent-free in your brain. You'd like apply sage to it, exercise it, because your bangs are always awesome. What was I saying? Yeah, I'm always like so worried that my OBS is just gonna stop working because it's OBS that I've seen add-ons for it that people use and I've just never gotten any because I am terrified of it. Hey, if you make it, I will even try it. I am so paranoid about all of my stream setup things because I feel like they're sort of glued together with chewing gum and prayer. So hello, I am well. Well, you know, like, I've gotten lots and lots and lots of troll comments, and a lot of times they are, oh my god, this color is never ending and it's never changing. A lot of times they're like completely, you know, like they're dumb things, right? Like, oh, you're fat, or whatever. And so they're like easy to dismiss, right? Like if somebody's like, oh, you are a stupid poopy head or whatever, like that's so dumb, it's easy to dismiss. But when somebody's like, oh, I hate your shirt choice or whatever, and then it's just like, oh, but like, why? Okay, that's like really like a real human actually said, like somebody thought that it was an okay thing to say in a chat of somebody they don't know. Like, where are these people's mothers? Like, I know that makes me sound like I'm a billion years old, but like were they just like raised by wolves? Like, who does that? Who says that? Who thinks it's okay to say that to a stranger? I mean, like, and also a non-stranger, but at least if like an established relationship, there's something there. Oh my god. Holy crap. We have a raid. Oh my god. It's Zakela. It is Zakela with a raid. Welcome, raiders. I need to press buttons so that Zakela gets shoutouts. There we go. Oh my god. So many things just scrolled past my screen and I can't see them all. Welcome, raiders. Welcome, Zakela. Hello. I was lurking in your stream for a while. I think I now have my stream in that window now, which is always hilarious because the tabs are merging. Welcome, welcome. We are part of the this awesome crafting rainbow train. We'll be going to Sheepy in 20 minutes. And I am trying to make this shawl have rainbow gayness in it. This is my first ever crocheted shawl. So we are working on it. It's my 6th ever crochet project. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we're mostly succeeding, but also I kind of have no idea what I'm doing. Yeah, I was watching the train earlier and lurking in Zakela's stream a little bit while I was like setting up my crochet frame. Zakela is an awesome streamer and crafter, and if you are not following Zakela, you should. He's a good time. And is also an enabler, pretty much as bad as the Crafty Cub, who between the two of them they have made my wallet weep, but my crafty brain very happy. So that's how that works, right? Okay, but yeah, I want to get to the next color. Yeah, that is, I guess I was saying earlier, this is the one thing, well, it's not the one. It's one of the few things about this yarn that I would prefer were different, is that the color bits, the color chunks are very big, and so the color changes are not as frequent as I would want them. I mean, like, there are 14 color changes in this skein, but I am so done with orange. I am over the orange now. Yeah, since when? Since always, Zakela. Wallet week. Yeah, that's, you know what? That's a good way to phrase it. Wallet week, heartful. You know, if I actually couldn't part with it, I wouldn't have spent it. I make my own bad life choices, but you know, I appreciate when people help me make my own bad life choices. But yeah, that's just kind of how we roll. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I am having such a hard time counting. Adderall is gone. No way. Yeah. what is that phrase? I'm sorry, I'm too bisexual for math. Too gay for math. Yes. I just like the number of times I'm like, am I at 10? No, I'm at 8. I do one more double and then I've already forgotten how many more stitches I needed to do. That has occurred many times in this shawl. Many times in this shawl. Okay. I don't know how many times it's gonna let me snooze this ad, so I'm gonna wait and then snooze it. I do not want this ad to be occurring. No capitalism for you, Twitch. We've already had capitalism 3 times. Fortunately, sometimes it is required capitalism. Not today. We are in 15 minutes going to be taking this train on a journey. Specifically, we're going to be going to Sheepy, Black Sheep Meats, who is an awesome human and a fun crafter, and is the reason that I picked up the, speaking of bad wallet choices, the hobby of diamond painting. Yes, Rachel is an amazing streamer from Canada and is always a good time, very on point streams, very immaculate vibes. Yeah. It's very cool. I want to press the button, but apparently, to do that, I have to go all the way over here. We are bad at buttons here. Pro streamer, that's me. That's me. Totally a pro. But, yeah. On Supreme, you're in Canada somewhere also, I think, right? Okay. Learned that somewhere recently. Possibly in your Discord. Get 9, 5, 6, 7. Always like, is this last thing a stitch or just like where I single crochet? Nope, it's a stitch. I am told that I will learn to differentiate by sight very easily at some point, 1, 2, 3, 4, after doing this for a while longer. But I have not gotten there yet, so I still have to think like real hard. Is this a single crochet that I'm not doing things in? Or as I try to figure out where Ontario is, it's like somewhere kind of in the middle, right? God. I only know the parts of Canada that are like directly north of me, which is basically Quebec. And like the bits that are to the right of that, east of that, so Newfoundland over there. West of New York State. I'm assuming also like north? Is it on one of the lakes? Whichever lake is above New York State. Erie, maybe? I am very bad with geography. Geography was taught in a grade I did not go to. Because I was in the middle of Lake Ontario. You know what? That makes sense. That is totally one of those lakes. Yeah, so I was in the middle of the 4th grade when I left the Soviet Union, and then I didn't go to school for like half a year, And then I went to 7th grade in America. And so somewhere in the 5th and 6th grade, both in Russia and in the US, basic geography was taught, and I did not attend those grades. I was not there. I am missing all of the geography. So like, I know countries in Europe-ish, but I'm kind of terrible about all the other things. So I try, man, but sometimes I'm just like, I don't know. There was a point in time when like Rachel came into my stream as I was struggling to remember the capital of Canada and failing terribly. And it was kind of embarrassing, but here we are. Barely know where the states in the US are. Yes, that is the kind of knowledge I need. Right, now we can snooze this nonsense ad. Please go away, and then we're gonna need to snooze it again. Oh. Canadian dollar. That's true. That is also the capital of Canada. I love buying fiber goods like yarn from one of my favorite yarn dyers, the Blue Brick, is in Canada. So anytime I buy fiber from her, it's always like, okay, I've made peace with the amount of money I'm spending, and then I get my credit card bill and it's like 25% less. And I'm always like, oh, this is the best surprise discount. It's like when you find, you can find a 20 in your, like the pocket of the pants you just laundered. Like it's your money. So it's not like actually found free money, but it always feels great. It's the same when I buy yarn from Canada. I always feel like I got an awesome discount, even though like I just paid the listed price. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We know you're a smart mouth, Cub. That's why we stick around and go to your streams, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. I think this shawl has officially gotten to the point where each round is about an hour. And like, we've been chatting, so I've not been exceedingly quick about it, but also not been that slow, and it is, it's not speedy. Thank you. I have thankfully, knock on wood, found it reasonably easy to do once I sort of figured out exactly what kind of like a repeat was. And I have managed to not F up too badly. I have no idea how big it's gonna grow to be, but I do want to get all the colors in it, so I think the bigger it goes, the kind of skinnier the color sections are gonna get. Which I guess makes sense, but I sort of really want more purple than that. I suppose I could have started in the other direction if I had thought about it, and then I would have had the least red and the most purple. Did not think that through, went for the center pull with no extra thinking, so. It is, like, it's a really, really, really simple pattern, like, in the grand scheme of things, or it is literally mostly doubles and a couple of singles and some chain. So it is just like, it's pretty good. I did get the pattern when I basically Googled for beginner friendly patterns. And the hobby version has incredibly detailed pictures, like step-by-step pictures, multiple 5, 6, 7, 8 pictures per row of how to do the different parts. So like it is, like I recommend it to anybody who is a beginner. The ones who are not beginners don't need my recommendation. But it is like they clearly, because they're hobby, right? Like they clearly decided that they wanted to make sure that people can do it as their kind of like first crochet project. Although it is listed as advanced beginner in its difficulty, which, yeah, I guess that's a reasonable assessment of its difficulty level. Like you need to be either a pretty advanced beginner or a beginner who has done a lot of other fiber arts and so has kind of like that background. I suppose I should be checking in on Sheepy and seeing how ready it is for me to go and raid there. But I want to finish this last bit. 1, 2, 3, 6, 7, 8, 9. Right. 10th one is into the chain because the chain was the first. Counted as it. There we go. Okay. So we did row 9 and row 10 today on this. It's got still one more row before kind of like the repeat finishes repeating. The boob section is doing weird things. Anyway, you can like, and I'm not staring at it directly, but I look at it on the thing. You can kind of like see the transition basically into basically yellow through the orange. So like that's pretty cool. I think at this point we're getting a color chunk per repeat, right? So we had 2 for this color section, 1 full repeat for this color section. It's probably going to be 1 full repeat for this one too, because I have like just the 1 row of the repeat left. So okay, let me go and see if I can find Sheepy. That is apparently not a window I can go to. Yay! Like double checking that she is there, but like I mentioned before, so she's in starting soon, so I'm gonna wait for her to be actually have started. But okay, good, then I don't have to think about it. It does actually kind of look like a flame, you're right. I think that effect is going to go away when we transition into green, but maybe it's a green flame. Who knows? But yeah, so okay, got it. Thank you. But yeah, so we're gonna be going in a minute or two into Black Sheep Meets. Like I said, Sheepy is totally responsible for me doing diamond painting. And is a cool crafter and all around cool human who does lots and lots of things. I don't particularly know what she's going to be doing today, but it's going to be awesome. Basically, whatever it is, right? Because it's always awesome. So you folks are going to like her. I am sure of it. She is. She's another big enabler, right? Like, her and the Crafty Cub and Zakayla are all like super enablers. And then in like the fibers space, and then we've got like Hi Hello Rachel, who is the enabler in like me getting every single Sims package and DLC and a whole bunch of different games, and is the reason why I've tried DBD. So like, yeah. Also, the heck is going on with my frame rate, and why is it stupid? There we go. That's better. Okay, awesome. Then let me see if I can set up. Oh yeah, yeah. You never enable anything, Zakayla. I do not have an amazing embroidery stand from England or anything because you mentioned it or anything like that. Oh, thank you, Binge Bear. And thank you for letting me join the train because I appreciate that. And I love being able to kind of like hang out and be part of the team. Oh my god, I think this is the first time the person I'm trying to raid is actually in my like list of raid channels without me having to search for them, which is, you know, a thing. But yeah, let me start that process, and then let me see if I can find us some raid message nonsense. Maybe not in there, because why would I be able to do useful things in my OBS chat window? Search for emotes. Please find me the emotes I want. That's the emote I want. That many of them. Yes, thank you. There. Here we go, everybody. Copy that nonsense. And, I like the dive bombing raid message. But thank you for hanging out, and let's go hang out with Sheepy.
We're gonna try our best to have the best time. Vulcan!